Good day everyone, and welcome to my review, my personal opinion of the Subaru WRX Impreza GC8. This particular car is a version 4 Australian delivered non-SDI WRX. Under the bonnet there is Subaru's EJ205 flat bore sitting way out past the front of the front axle. The engine is of course fed by air that's cooled through the top mount intercooler after being savagely compressed by the medium-sized turbo, in this case a VF34 turbo replacing the stock Mitsubishi turbo. The non-SDI WRX only has an open front diff, unfortunately, so it has a viscous center diff, an open front diff and a viscous rear diff, so it's quite the step back from the more sophisticated setup in the SDI, but nonetheless it does the job most of the time, and rarely you'll have wheel spin or a lack of traction with the WRX. A common upgrade for the WRX is a stiffer rear sway bar to try to neutralize some of the understeer that's inherent in the design of the car. This particular car has a 3-inch MRT exhaust system, which is a common upgrade, and of course down the back there is the obligatory fart cannon back box, which you have to have if you drive a WRX. Inside the cabin you'll find the basic but functional 1990s interior, which looks okay, it's not particularly sporty, and of course this car, like most WRXs, has been fitted with a very important upgrade. This particular car has had the gearbox rebuilt, a notorious weak point for WRXs. In this particular case they've gone for PBG straight cut gears with synchros in bursts through to 4. Perhaps this was done before the 6-speed swap really became affordable. Most RXs from the 90s seem to come with similar seats, just with different patterns on the fabric. These seats have good torso support, but perhaps the lateral thigh support is a bit lacking compared to other sporty bucket type seats. But nonetheless they're very comfortable to sit in for longer journeys. The straight cut gears explains the whine that you're hearing. Okay, so we're just approaching a hairpin bend now. Definitely plenty of punch, relatively plenty of punch. It's certainly not a very fast car, but it's relatively quick. And it's probably enough to satisfy a lot of people until they become a crazy Nissan horsepower junkie. I think once you put on that aftermarket suspension, it definitely loses some of that sedan with a big-ish turbo feeling and starts to feel more like a proper sporty performance car. And that's, you know, a good thing, but obviously you are compromising on the ride comfort compared to the standard suspension, which is very comfortable. Now I've just come to nearly a standstill to demonstrate this car's acceleration, so we're just taking off in first gear. Not bad. So the noise, obviously these older cars have the unequal link headers, and I love that noise. I think it gives the car a great character. Now I might just do a demonstration of turbo lag here, so I'll just third gear, 2000 revs, 50 kilometers an hour, and I'm just going to demonstrate the turbo lag up this hill. So, floor it, and away she goes. So that's probably around a good 2.5 or 3 seconds of turbo lag there from 2000 RPM. So I'll just run through the driving controls. So first thing, the steering. Both the size of the steering wheel is certainly quite large compared to other performance oriented cars, and then the weight of the steering. The weight of the standard steering is very light, and the standard steering rack ratio for the normal WRX is quite slow, but I don't mind it. It's not bad actually. It definitely it still follows your hands. You just have to turn the wheel more compared to other performance orientated cars. And this particular car and most of the 98 model version 4 cars have the Nardi steering wheel, same as on the 22B, and it's a nice steering wheel. It's quite a thin rim, but it's very nice to gearbox. I think this car might have a short shift kit on it, possibly. It's nice to use. The slots are close together and it has a nice mechanical feel. Maybe it's a bit notchy, but definitely it's quite a nice gearbox. It's definitely. And finally, the pedals. The footrest on the left is on the small side, but at least it's there, unlike some cars. And then your 3 pedals are well spaced. The brake and the accelerator are nice and close together, so you can heel into it very easily. And the clutch. Obviously, this car is an old car, it has an aftermarket clutch, so I can't say too much about the clutch feel, but the clutch feel on this particular car is really good. It's quite easy and intuitive to drive. You can definitely learn to drive manual in this car very easily. I've taught my friend how to drive manual in this car, and they found no problems at all, and they found it to be quite an easy car to drive. So those were my thoughts on the Subaru Impreza WRX GC8. I think overall it's a good fun car. It's a lot of fun to drive. Perhaps it's not the kind of engaging driving experience as, you know, your MX-5s or your Renault Sport Clios, but definitely offers a lot of bang for buck and a lot of performance and practicality. And we'll see you later.